call the reorganization meeting to order and ask the Open Public Meetings Act statement.
Yes, in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting of the council was provided by transmitting a copy of the meeting notice to the Madison Eagle and the Morris County Daily Record, posting a copy on the bulletin board at the main entrance of Borough Hall, and filing a copy in the office of the clerk, all on December 26, 2013. Copies of said notice were made available to members of the general public.
May I have the roll call, please?
Mayor Conley.
Here.
Mr. Catalanello.
Here.
Mr. Landrigan.
Here.
Mrs. Vitale.
Here.
Ms. Bailey. Here. Mr. Wolkowitz.
Here.
And Mr. Rebholz is excused.
Reverend Rob Schoaf, United Methodist Church, Madison. Please rise for invocation.
Let us be in an attitude of prayer. God of love, by whose grace we are given life and whose light we find meaning and purpose. We begin a new year with the hope that we may build upon the successes of yesterday, learn the lessons taught by its failures. We ask that you would bless the work of these servants chosen to advance a public good, not in isolation, but within the boundaries of a community of integrity, respect, and honor. And may we, as members of this community, fulfill our pledge to work alongside those so chosen. For in your sight, community is not determined by size or influence, but rather its quest for transcendence. Amen.
May I have Scout Troop 25, please lead us in the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Matlock and harmonium. For
Love to encourage people to always sing along with that.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts
Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Tough act to follow. I think we might as well just adjourn now.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Before we get to the next agenda item, I see one of our freeholders, a Madison native, John Crick is here. Would you like to come and offer some greetings? We have a microphone. Oh, Rob Schofer. Where'd the microphone go?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I just want to say, Madison class of '78, you can come home again. So proving, was that Robert Frost? I don't know who that was, said you can't. Really just want to wish everybody a happy, blessed, healthy, and prosperous New Year.
Thank you, John. So we instituted the
That's on there.
Alice, all right. So 2 years ago, we instituted the Mayor's Award for Heroic Effort. And I want to invite Gerard Reho up, his wife Jane, Mia, and Christian, come on up. So let me just set the scene. A couple of weeks ago, Gerard is on the platform at Madison train station. A woman had a seizure, fell down onto the tracks. He was waiting for what I believe was the 2:10 train, and it's about 2:05 or so. Takes a quick look at the clock, jumps down there, looking west for the possible incoming train, but in a moment's, without even giving a thought to himself, jumps down there, was also assisted by a bystander, but got the woman off the tracks and back to safety well before the train pulled into the station. It is a truly heroic effort, and you have made a difference in someone's lives, and we want to thank you so much for that. So with that, we have the Mayor's Award presented to Gerard Reho for heroic effort on behalf of the residents of Madison. And Jane, thank you for having Gerard at the right place at the right time. Congratulations.
Well, I just wanted to say thank you to the town for acknowledging my act. I've had, over the past couple weeks, a lot of friends and people that I don't even know very well come up to me and shake my hand and say, good job, which was a little surprising to me, especially some of the people that I didn't know that well. But I think that's sort of a testament to what a great community Madison is. And we've been here for 14 years or so, and I think the fact that people coming up and acknowledging something like that, it tells me that the day that this happened with the train, I'm sure the majority of people from Madison would have done exactly the same thing, because that's the kind of community that we live in, and I'm proud to be a part of that, and happy to be in the right place at the right time that day. So thank you again for the award. Bob, thanks for organizing this. I'm honored.
Thank you. Happy New Year. Is Susan DiGiacomo in the audience? Another thing we do at this annual event is to thank those that have long served the borough and are stepping down off of various borough committees or boards. Sue DiGiacomo has served on the Board of Health, and we want to thank her for her 5 years of service to the Board of Health. Our other recognition goes to Eric Range. Eric, come on up here, please. Eric is probably a familiar face at many town events because he has been a member of the DDC for 9 years. And I think he'd be a member for the DDC for another 9 years. But we do have, this is one of the boards that actually has term limits. So after 3 terms, Eric is stepping down. Eric's last few years has been as chair of the Downtown Development Commission. So Eric, I want to thank you for your 9 years of dedication to the borough and your leadership to the Downtown Development Commission. Everyone sees the great work your committee has done, so I thank you very much. Rob Catanello, would you like to step forward? And Catanello family, please step forward.
Okay. Stand on the Bible, raise your right hand, and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Rob Catalanello,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
perform all the duties of council
perform all council duties as council member of the Borough of Madison
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
I further solemnly swear
I further solemnly swear
that I will support the
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same and to the governments established in the United States
to the same and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Liz.
Steve Holtzman, please come forward, and the Rowe family, and Pat Rowe.
Raise your right hand. I, insert my name,
I, Patrick Rowe,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
I will faithfully and justly
perform all the duties of council member of the Borough of Madison
perform all the duties of a council member
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
I further solemnly swear
I further solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
I will faithfully support
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
the Constitution of the State,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and I will bear true
and to the governments established in the United States and in this state,
and to the governments established
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. The Rowe family is going to depart because my daughter's leaving tonight for a birthright trip, and she's got to be in Philly by 5. It was one of the debates about when this meeting would start.
Puts a council position all in perspective, that family comes first.
Bye.
See you later. She's in Israel. It's her birthright trip. For what? I'm sorry. Birthright.
How long was she?
About 12 days. Oh, the 12 back on the 13th. See you later, bro. That's a lot more than we expected.
May I have the roll call, please?
Mayor Conley,
Here?
Mr. Catalinello,
Here.
Mr. Landrigan,
Here.
Mrs. Vitale. Here. Ms. Bailey.
Here.
Mr. Wolkowitz.
Here.
Mr. Rowe.
Here.
Welcome all. And you can move up forward if you want, or stay right where you are. I want to welcome Mayor Holden, Mariana, welcome, and everyone else who has joined us today in our reorganization meeting. We are sorry that Ray Cody is not with us today. He is home recuperating from a fall, and we hope to have him back on the job, but he is probably catching up on emails, going through stacks of paper as we speak, because he never stops. I want to thank Reverend Rob Schoaf for an excellent invocation and harmonium for setting the tone for the year. And Pat Rowe, welcome. As you shift from Board of Education to Borough Council, we've already been working very closely together over the years, and so now you get to dive right into the work of the council and help Madison from a different point of view.
Thank you.
And Rob, welcome to your second term.
Thank you, Mayor.
Congratulations, and looking forward to another 3 great years. And of course, welcome back to our 4 returning council members, Bob Landrigan, Carmela Vitale, Austri Bailey, and Ben Wolkowitz. Today marks a midpoint as my term as mayor, but don't worry, there's not going to be any halftime show. Just a few remarks with the idea that the longer you serve as mayor, the briefer your remarks should be. Many of you have heard how I recently, just a few minutes ago, honored some of our heroes, and I've also talked over the years about how I feel about my role as mayor. Madison is a special place, and I'm honored to serve as mayor, but I will never forget that I'm just part of a team that makes Madison the place it is. Over the past 2 years, we've acknowledged the extraordinary heroes. And extraordinary heroes are not just at the right place at the right time. Extraordinary heroes are the right person in the right place at the right time. Saving someone from a fall is being the right person at the right time. Other award recipients over the last 2 years include a hero who pulled a rabid fox off a young woman, a hero who saved a family who was on the second floor of a home had just been shaken by a gas explosion. We recognize heroes in our fire and police departments who saved a woman from her apartment in a building fully engulfed in flames. The award was also presented to someone for their heroic efforts over an extended time. This was for Councilman Landrigan, for his effort for the borough before, during, and after Superstorm Sandy. Those efforts continue as he works with FEMA to get our reimbursements. And as I talk about recognition, we cannot forget the men and women in the armed forces, extraordinary heroes who put their lives on the line to protect our freedoms we enjoy. We don't know what we would have done if we were the person there at the right time. Would we jump onto the tracks, climb a ladder, give endless hours of volunteer work? What we do know is that catastrophes were avoided or lives may have been saved, and Madison is a better place because of these extraordinary heroes who were the right person at the right time. While we may never have the opportunity to be an extraordinary hero, we can be everyday heroes. Last night, we welcomed in the new year with the horn. Firefighter Kyle Wickman sounded the horn in honor of our everyday heroes, our first responders, firefighters, police officers, and ambulance volunteers. Look around the room. We are surrounded by everyday heroes, those who give their time in many different ways. Our council members, committee and board members who volunteer for Madison. And we just recognized 2 volunteers for over 5 years of service. But there are many others who have given 5, 10, 20 years or more as a volunteer to Madison. Madison's everyday heroes. We have so many of these everyday heroes around us, we tend to take them for granted. 48 hours from now, We may or may not be shoveling out from the first winter storm of 2014, but we know that our Department of Public Works is ready to put in long hours to make sure the roads are clear so we can get to where we need to be. We have heroes sitting on Chief Executive Council for Madison, CEOs who gave of their time over the past year, helping restore a fellow community devastated by Sandy, but also working to create our leaders of tomorrow. Someday, everyday heroes are created by how they approach their job or life's challenges. Examples are in two of Madison's finest who we lost in the past year. Lieutenant Anthony DiVincenzo succumbed to cancer last year. We all knew him as Zeke. He was an everyday hero in his love for the street beat. At his corner, Waverly in Maine, he greeted all with a smile, representing Madison at its best. We also lost Lieutenant Vincent Carey. Vince was retired for decades, but was an everyday hero in his love and respect for his fellow Madison officers. The last time I was able to see Vince was at Sergeant Keemer's retirement. Lieutenant Carey, well into his 90s, made sure he was there to congratulate John Keemer. He loved Madison, and he loved his police force. 2014 marks the 125th anniversary of the incorporation of the Borough of Madison. In 1889, everyday heroes decided it was time to break away from Chatham Township. In 2014, we have everyday heroes working to do more with our neighbors. Today, we officially take on the 5th town in our joint court. Today, our building construction office expands to be the construction office for the Borough of Madison and the Borough of Chatham. So as we celebrate 125 years as an independent town, we are leading the way with shared services because the heroes in this building who don't say, we can't take on any more, but do ask, what can we do more for others? There are the behind-the-scenes heroes, such as the staff of Project Community Pride. For over 40 years, Community Pride has been working with teens and families in crisis. Who knows how many they have saved or how many future everyday heroes they created over those years. Now we have a group of heroes working to ensure that Community Pride will continue their valuable work for years to come. Look at our schools, our community groups, service clubs, our neighborhoods, local businesses, and our shops in downtown. You will realize we are surrounded by everyday heroes. Again, not many of us will have the opportunity to be an extraordinary hero, but most of us can be an everyday hero, and all of us can thank a hero. So let's make 2014 the year of the hero. To our room full of heroes, I thank you and wish you a happy and healthy new year. Welcome back. Election of Council President. Current Council President Vitale, do you have a nomination?
Yes, I do. It's with great pleasure that I nominate Bob Landrigan, who was one of our heroes last year, to the seat of Council President for the year 2014.
I second the motion.
Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Catalanello?
Yes.
Mr. Landrigan?
Yes.
Mrs. Vitale?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Wolkowitz?
Yes.
Mr. Rowe?
Yes.
Congratulations, Council President Landrigan.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, everybody.
You can keep that for your scrapbook.
Here today.
I'd like to make the following council appointments for standing committees for the year 2014. I'm sorry. Motion to accept for the bylaws for 2014.
I would like to move that the existing bylaws be adopted as the bylaws of the governing body of the Borough of Madison for the year 2014.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Catalanello?
Yes.
Mr. Landrigan?
Yes.
Mrs. Vitale?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Wolkowitz?
Yes.
Mr. Rowe?
Yes.
Now I would like to make the following appointments. For Finance and Borough Clerk, Chair Ben Wolkowitz, backup Robert Landrigan. Public Safety, Chair Austri Bailey, backup Ben Wolkowitz. Public Works and Engineering, Chair Robert Catanello, backup Carmela Vitale. Utilities, Chair Carmela Vitale, backup Patrick Rowe. Health, Chair Robert Landrigan, backup Austri Bailey. Community Affairs, Chair Patrick Rowe, backup Robert Catanello.
I would like to move for the confirmation of the foregoing appointments.
Second?
Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Catalonello?
Yes.
Mr. Landrigan?
Yes.
Mrs. Vitale?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Wolkowitz?
Yes.
Mr. Rowe?
Yes.
I'd like to appoint the following persons for these official capacities and ask for council confirmation. Borough Attorney Matthew Jacoby, Esquire. Housing Officer Lisa Gula. Zoning Officer Frank Russo of Omlin Engineering. Deputy Zoning Officer Daniel Buckaloo. And Fire Subcode Official Bruce Barrios.
I would like to move for the confirmation of the foregoing appointments.
Second?
Roll call vote.
Mr. Catalonello?
Yes.
Mr. Landrigan?
Yes.
Mrs. Vitale?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Wolkowitz?
Yes.
Mr. Rowe?
Yes.
I'd like to make the following appointments that are not subject to council confirmation. Environmental Commission, for three-year term through December 31st, 2016. Jeffrey Sarrett, two-year term through December 31st. Mary Lewis as alternate number 2, and one-year term through December 31st. Betsy Ullman, Chair. Jeffrey Gertler, Planning Board Rep. And Robert Catanello, Council Liaison. And Historic Preservation Commission, 4-year term through December 31st, 2017. John Sulu, Class C, regular, and 2-year term through December 31st, 2015. Margaret Weisgerber as alternate number 2, and 1-year term through December 31st, 2014. Robert Catanello as the council liaison. And for Planning Board, 4-year term through December 31st, 2017. Michael Kopis, Class 4, Judy Mullins, Class 4, and 1-year term through December 31st. John Forte, Class 2, as official of the borough other than governing body. And I have a nomination for the Planning Board Rep from the council, sorry. My mouth is falling behind me.
I'd like to nominate the appointment of Austri Bailey, Council Liaison, Class 3, to the Planning Board for a 1-year term through December 31st, 2014.
I'll second it.
Roll call vote.
Mr. Catalonello?
Yes.
Mr. Landrigan?
Yes.
Mrs. Vitale?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Wolkowitz?
Yes.
Mr. Rowe?
Yes.
I'd like to make the following appointments to special positions requiring council confirmation. And these are all for 1-year terms through December 31st, 2014. Board of Education Liaison, Robert Catanello. Chamber of Commerce Liaison, Patrick Rowe. Historian, Kay Leary. Housing Authority Liaison, Ben Wolkowitz. Joint Meeting Council Representatives, Carmela Vitale as Operating Chair, Ben Wolkowitz, Finance Vice Chair. Joint Court, Austri Bailey and Ben Wolkowitz as members. Museum of Early Trades and Crafts, Austri Bailey as Council Liaison. Passaic Valley Groundwater Protection Committee, Daniel Kelly. Project Community Pride Liaison, Austri Bailey. Whippany River Watershed Action Committee, Carmela Vitale, and Madison Community Pool, Robert Conley as Mayor ex officio.
Mayor, I move the approval of the foregoing appointments.
Second?
Roll call vote.
Mr. Catalonello?
Yes.
Mr. Landrigan?
Yes.
Mrs. Vitale?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Wolkowitz?
Yes.
Mr. Rowe?
Yes.
Patrick Rowe, can you make the following announcements for appointments?
Yes, for the Board of Health, a 4-year term through December 31st, 2017. Sharon Harris and Constance Stober, regular. 2-year term through December 31st, 2015. Eric Range, alternate number 1. And a 1-year term through December 31st, 2014. Robert Landrigan, Council Liaison. Also for the Community Garden Advisory Committee, 3-year term through December 31st, 2016. James Casola, Charles Courtney, Stephen McAuliffe, and Brian Monahan, all regular. And a 1-year term through December 31st, 2014. Robert Catalanello, Council Liaison. And finally, for the Complete Streets Committee, 1-year term through December 31st, 2014. Mayor ex officio Robert Connolly. Public Safety Council Liaison Austri Bailey. Engineering Council Liaison Robert Catalanello. Borough Engineer Robert Bogle. Public Works Superintendent David Maines. Traffic Safety Officer Chad Ripka. Board of Education Representative Lisa Ellis, a resident Mark Chirlanza, and resident Kirk Oakes.
Mayor, I move the approval of the foregoing appointments.
Second?
Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Catalonello?
Yes?
Mr. Landrigan?
Yes.
Mrs. Vitale?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Wolkowitz?
Yes.
Mr. Rowe?
Yes.
Mr. Wolkowitz, can you make the following announcements of appointments?
Thank you, Mayor. Downtown Development Commission, 3-year term through December 31st, 2016. Maureen Byrne at large. Brad Kramer, owner, merchant, landlord. Lisa Ellis, Board of Education rep. Mark Fabianski, resident rep. Michael Kopis, higher education rep. Bob Short and Russell Stern at large. 1-year term through December 31st, 2014. Patrick Rowe, council liaison. The Electric Utility Study Committee, 1-year term through December 31st, 2014. Martin Barbado, James Burnett, Raymond M. Cody, Robert F. Califoot, Jeffrey Kerr, Robert Moutone, Suzanne Patinode, Michael Piano, Ronald A. Potter, Alan Sawyer, Kevin Williams, Herbert C. Worthington, and council liaison Carmela Vitale. Library trustee, 5-year term through December 31st, 2018, Dorothy Meany.
Mayor, I move the approval of the foregoing appointments.
Second?
Roll call vote.
Mr. Catalonello?
Yes?
Mr. Landrigan?
Yes.
Mrs. Vitale?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Wolkowitz?
Yes.
Mr. Rowe?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey, can you announce the following appointments?
Will do. Local Emergency Planning Council for 2014, administrator, assistant borough administrator, borough engineer, construction official, electric utility superintendent, fire chief, health officer, mayor, superintendent of public works, councilmember Austri Bailey, auxiliary police, John Granato, Board of Education representative, John Connolly, Madison Eagle, Gary Herzog, the Madison Chatham Joint Meeting, Superintendent Chris Manick, Medical Representative Wayne Lajewski, Drew University Representative Chief Robert C. Lucid, OEM Coordinator Robert Landrigan, OEM Deputy Coordinator Police Chief Darren Datchison, OEM Assistant Deputy Coordinator James Caveza, Pharmacist Frank Iannarone, Public Information Officer Joseph Longo, RACES Lee Storm, School Resource Officer Lisa Esposito, Secretary Christine Mannion, Senior Citizen Advisory Representative Carmela Vitale. Madison Alliance Addressing Substance Abuse, 3-year term through December 31, 2016. Emily Galbraith, YMCA Youth Programs, Bridget Kelly, Project Pride, Libby Schessler Brooks, Madison Junior School. 1-year term through December 31, 2014. Robert Landrigan, Council Liaison. Open Space, Recreation, and Historic Preservation Advisory Committee. 3-year term through December 31, 2016. Thomas Piscula, Madison resident. 1-year term through December 31, 2014. John A. Neal, Parks Advisory Committee Representative. Judy Mullins, Planning Board Representative. Missy Durham, Environmental Commission Representative. William Van Ryzen, Historic Preservation Commission Representative. Peter Hiscano, Recreation Committee Chair. Mayor Robert H. Connolly, ex officio. Austri Bailey, Council Liaison.
Mayor, I move the approval of the foregoing appointments.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Catalonello?
Yes?
Mr. Landrigan?
Yes.
Mrs. Vitale?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Wolkowitz?
Yes.
Mr. Rowe?
Yes.
Ms. Vitale, can you make the following appointments, please?
Parks Advisory Committee, 1-year term through December 31st, 2014. Paul Alaco, Chair. Philip Servone. Kathy Coltis, Secretary. Robert McDowell. Debbie Mantone. John Neal. John Taylor. Jeffrey Thomas. Lois Wolkowitz. Diane Zombick. And Robert Catalanello, Council Liaison. Patriotic Celebrations Committee, 1-year term through December 31st, 2014. Ron Dibias, Peter Fleming, Sr., Thomas Granata, Wayne Henderson, James Kemp, Sam Mantone, Jeffrey Pettit, Michael Piano, Victor Schumacher, Patrick Sherwood, Carmela Vitale, Council Liaison. Property Maintenance Emergency Committee, one-year term through December 31st, 2014. Construction Code Official, Health Officer, Board of Health President, Board of Health Member, Robert Landrigan, Council Liaison and Chair.
Mayor, I move the approval of the foregoing appointments.
I'll second it.
Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Catalonello?
Yes?
Mr. Landrigan?
Yes.
Mrs. Vitale?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Wolkowitz?
Yes.
Mr. Rowe?
Yes.
Mr. Landrigan, can you announce the following appointments?
Sure. Recreation Advisory Committee, one-year term through December 31st, 2014. Harvey Allen, Community Pool Rep. Dan Bowlig, Robert Boyle, Brenda Catalanello, Stephen Capolo, Nina Coviello, Chuck Ellis, Zach Ellis, ex officio and Recreation Director, Tony Guerrero, Thomas Harold Pudis, Board of Ed Representative, Peter Hiscano, Christopher Holland, Marty Horn, Vito Lupino, Dorina Materano, Bill Mulcahy, Carmen Pico, Rinjid Sinha, Nick Spaglioletti, Mark Sweeney, Kenneth Ware, Michael Wallace, Patrick Rowe, Council Liaison. Safety Committee, one-year term through December 31st, 2014. Borough Administrator, Assistant Borough Administrator, Borough Engineer, Chief Financial Officer, Personnel, Electric Utility Superintendent, Fire Chief, Health Officer, Madison Chatham Joint Meeting Superintendent, Police Chief, Acting Purchasing Officer, Recreation Director, Superintendent of Public Works, Astrid Bailey as Council Liaison. Citizens Advisory Committee, one-year term through December 31st, 2014. Ruth Barrett, AARP Representative. Ben Cahill, DDC Representative. Lena Crasto, Rexford S. Tucker Apartments Representative. Peggy Donnelly, Rose City Steppers. Sandy Fiello, Stay Healthy Program. Edna Early Burns, Senior Citizens Coordinator. George Heyman, Senior Rep. Kay Leary, Thursday Morning Club Rep. Florence Rice, Madison Health Department. Kay Schaller, RSVP. Donna Sue Dowden, YMCA Rep. Carrie Thompson, Madison Library Rep. Kamala Vitale, Chair. Patrick Rowe, Council Liaison. Mayor, I'd like to move for the approval of the foregoing appointments.
Second?
Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Catalonello?
Yes?
Mr. Landrigan?
Yes.
Mrs. Vitale?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Wolkowitz?
Yes.
Mr. Rowe?
Yes.
Mr. Catanello, can you announce the following appointments?
Thank you, Mayor. Shade Tree Management Board, 5-year term through December 31st, 2018. Penny Garman, regular member. 1-year term through December 31st, 2014. Robert Catalanello, Council Liaison. Sustainable Madison Advisory Committee, a 3-year term through December 31st, 2015. Kathleen Cacavelli and Harriet Honingfeld, regular members. 1-year term through December 31st, 2014. Betsy Ullman, Madison Environmental Commission Rep. Wayne Desjardins, Board of Education Rep. David Main, Superintendent of Public Works. James Burnett, Assistant Borough Administrator. Rob Catalanello, Council Liaison. The Zoning Board of Adjustment, 4-year term through December 31st, 2017. Tony DeRosa and Diane Driscoll, regular members. 2-year term through December 31st, 2015. Kyle Wickman, alternate number 1.
Mayor, I'd like to move for the approval of the foregoing appointments.
I'll second it.
Roll call vote.
Mr. Catalonello?
Yes.
Mr. Landrigan?
Yes.
Mrs. Vitale?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Wolkowitz?
Yes.
Mr. Rowe?
Yes.
We have any communications?
None received, Mayor.
All right, this is now the invitation for discussion. Anyone in the audience may come up to the lectern and speak on any topic you wish. Please state your name as you step up there and your address, and write the same on the clipboard, and then keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. Does anyone wish to be heard? Sam Cerciel, Happy New Year. Liaison to the people.
Thank you. That's why I got up. I just want to wish everybody a happy and healthy and blessed New Year's, and I just feel it's going to be a good year. And I am still the liaison of the people here.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Sam is of Park Avenue, Madison, since I cut him off and didn't let him introduce himself. Anyone else wishing to be heard? Seeing none, close this part of the meeting. Consent agenda resolutions.
Consent agenda resolutions will be enacted with a single motion. Any resolution requiring expenditure is supported by a certification of availability of funds. Any resolution requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda. All resolutions will be reflected in full in the minutes.
Mayor, I move the adoption of resolutions listed on the consent agenda, R1 2014 through R32 2014.
Second.
Any discussion or any that need to be pulled? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Catalonello?
Yes?
Mr. Landrigan?
Yes.
Mrs. Vitale?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Wolkowitz?
Yes.
Mr. Rowe?
Yes.
And Mr. Rowe, you get to have the honors.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Happy New Year, and I move that we adjourn.
Thank you. Happy New Year, all. Thank you.
I got my in-laws in my house.
Another record.
Lucky me.
Yeah, I know. There's a party down in my mother's house, I'm not going. Hey.
They drove at 4,000 miles an hour.
I'll tell you a funny story about Sierra Leone. The president's son
about
was
utilities.
working, and his family.
Okay.
If they're gonna do it,
They had to ask him to get you. He said he was on